Nearly 40% of clinical errors can be traced back to inaccurate or incomplete information gathered during the initial intake. If you have ever reached the end of an assessment only to realize you missed a critical psychosocial factor or felt the patient was holding back, you know how high the stakes are for your care plan. In this video, I'm going to show you how to conduct a therapeutic interview that is both clinically rigorous and deeply empathetic. You will walk away with a standardized framework for evidence-based assessments, techniques to break through patient resistance, and a 5-step strategy to streamline your documentation without sacrificing patient rapport. Effective interviewing isn't a checklist, it's a funnel. You start with broad, open ended questions to allow your patient to own their narrative, and only then do you narrow down to the technical, clinical details. For example, instead of asking, "Do you take your meds?" start with, "Tell me about your daily routine with your medications." This often reveals barriers like cost or side effects that a yes no question would miss. In your next intake, spend the first 5 minutes purely on open ended what and how questions before touching your computer or paper forms. Did you know that patients who feel their environment is secure are 25 more percent likely to disclose behavioral health concerns? Let's talk about building that security. Active listening is more than just nodding, it's a strategic use of paraphrasing and reflection. When you reflect a patient's feeling back to them, you validate their experience, which lowers their cortisol and increases their willingness to share sensitive data. If a patient says, "I'm tired of all of these doctors," you reflect, "It sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed by the complexity of your care team." Use the 3-second rule. After a patient finishes speaking, wait 3 seconds before responding. Often, they will fill that silence with the most important piece of information of the session. Now that we've mastered the listening phase, we need to address the walls patients often put up. Cultural competency isn't a formality, it's a clinical necessity. Misinterpreting a patient's silence or eye contact as non-compliance ruins the therapeutic alliance. We must identify these barriers, be they language, cognitive, or cultural, immediately. In many cultures, direct eye contact with an authority figure is a sign of disrespect. If you force "look me in the eye" communication, you are inadvertently creating a barrier. For your next interview, identify if an official medical interpreter is needed. Never rely on family members, as this shifts the family dynamic and often leads to omission of sensitive medical facts. In this scenario, you have 15 minutes left, and the patient just shuts down. How do you pivot? One word: transparency. Tell the patient why you're asking the remaining questions. We must adopt universal precautions for trauma. This means assuming every patient has a trauma history. Trauma informed interviewing gives the patient back the control that trauma took away. Before asking about family history or past hospitalizations, ask, "I have a few questions about your background that can be difficult. Is it okay if we go there now, or do you need a moment?" Always offer the patient an out. Let them know they can stop the interview or skip a question at any time. This paradoxically makes them more likely to answer. Transitioning from the emotional to the digital, let's talk about how this works through a screen. In virtual care, technology proficiency is part of the clinical presence. Distractions on your end, like looking at a second monitor, feel like abandonment to a patient in crisis. Position your camera so you can maintain eye contact while looking at a patient's face on the screen. Ensure your background is professional and your lighting is front facing. Start every telehealth call with a privacy check. Ask, "Are you in a place where you feel comfortable speaking freely?" This small step ensures compliance and patient safety. Question: Are you spending more time looking at your keyboard than your patient during Zoom calls? If so, your data accuracy is likely dropping. Clinical documentation compliance is the source of truth for the entire care team. To avoid burnout, you must optimize your workflow so documentation happens with the patient, not 5 hours after they leave. Use a psychosocial assessment framework. It provides a roadmap so you don't miss housing stability, food security, or support systems while you're focused on medical vitals. Implement a 5 step digital transition. Use pre interview forms or biographical data so your limited time with the patient is spent on higher level clinical analysis. But how do we put all these moving parts together into a single system? This is where Case Management Hub comes in. The platform is designed to take the administrative weight off your shoulders. It uses standardized templates that prompt you for required compliance data while giving you the narrative space to document the therapeutic interview accurately. Imagine using a basic intake form that a patient completes before they even see you. When you start the interview, the what is already there. You are free to focus on the why. You can implement Case Management Hub's standardized form templates, enable pre interview engagement, integrate mental health screening tools, customize form fields, and monitor real time outcomes. To wrap up, remember the key shifts we covered today. First, move from a checklist to a funnel approach. Second, use active listening and universal precautions for trauma to build a secure environment. Third, optimize your digital workflow by using pre engagement tools to reduce friction. These aren't just soft skills, they are evidence based methods to ensure that your care plan is built on a foundation of accurate, honest, and comprehensive patient data. If you're ready to stop fighting your documentation and start focusing on your patients, your next step is to see the strategies in action. Head over to the link in the description and start your free trial of Case Management Hub today. Discover how Case Management Hub can help you and your team implement these 5 steps in your practice. Let's move your case management from reactive to proactive. Once you click the link, you'll be brought to this page. Just enter your first name, last name, and email, as well as your organization name, and select your practice area. We also recommend that you enter a phone number. Once you're done, you'll be brought to the main dashboard, which allows you to perform quick actions among many other things. Let's take a look at how easy it is to create, edit, and send a form in Case Management Hub. Step 1, from the sidebar, click the Forms module and search for Basic Intake Form, and then click the title to open it. Here's a tip. Forms with a padlock are master templates provided by Case Management Hub to help you get started. You can easily customize these to make them your own. Step 2, click Edit Template to start customizing the form to your needs. Here's a tip. You can add new form fields using the right sidebar. Just drag them straight into your form. Once done, click Save. Step 3, select a client to start filling out a form on their behalf. No need to retype your client's data. It magically fills in the form for you, saving you time. Step 4, or to send the form directly to a client or clients, click Send Form, select the clients, and then click Send. Tip: you can send forms to a client that are not yet on Case Management Hub, or what we call external recipients, by clicking Add Recipient and filling out their email, first name, and last name. Step 5. Create a public link for your form so you can easily share it with anyone. Just click Copy Link to publish your online form. A link will automatically be created for you, but you can always edit this and other form settings even after creating the online form. To do this, just click on the gear icon in the top right corner of the form page to bring up the form settings. And don't forget to like this video as it lets me know that you've received value from it. You can also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss great content like this one.